Hello and welcome back to the Bacon Academy Student News, bringing the world to the Academy. I'm Alexa Gagosz.
And I'm Jason Coffin.
Today's top stories include upcoming events, a woman was charged almost $800 over by a cab driver, and updates on Ukraine. All that and more here at the BASN.
First, Alexa, how about you tell us what's going on here at Bacon?
Well, Jason, Indoor Track Awards and Potluck Dinner is next Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the Bacon Cafeteria. Please call 860-608-1186 or email Lynette Dimmick to RSVP and convey what you are bringing to the dinner.
The Disabled Workers Committee, a Connecticut-based, not-for-profit organization whose mission is to help impaired workers, is offering a scholarship of $10,000 to assist a senior high school student who is the child of a worker permanently or totally disabled in the workplace who lives in Connecticut. The injury must arise out of the workplace. The 2014 scholarship provides $1,250 per semester for 4 years, due April 15th, 2014. Applications are in the guidance office. Contact Joanna Lazarus at 860-442-4416.
The One World Prize is given in memory of Charles T. Probus, who was a Colchester resident. The topic of the essay is One World. Applications can be found in the guidance office, and the deadline is April 25th.
Moving on to national news, if not for the hue of their skin or their ethnicity, 24 soldiers who faced death in the service to their nation would have received the most prestigious medals for their valor long ago. But they were born and fought at a time when such deeds were not always fairly acknowledged. On Tuesday, the U.S. government corrected the oversight. President Barack Obama honored 24 Armory veterans with the Medal of Honor. The country's highest military award was given to the American soldiers who display gallantry above and beyond the call of duty for their actions in Vietnam, Korea, and World War II.
Mitt Romney is blaming President Barack Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for the crisis in Ukraine, as well as other foreign policy changes across the globe. In an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, the former Massachusetts governor and 2012 Republican presidential nominee says a failure by the president and former Secretary of State to lead when they had the chance has led to the current situation. Romney's op-ed comes on the same day that Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a treaty making Crimea part of Russia after the autonomous region of Ukraine voted overwhelming this past weekend to join Russia. The United States, the European Union, and Ukraine did not recognize the results of the referendum.
A college student from Winnetka, Illinois, jumped into a cab for a short ride to a restaurant in downtown Chicago, but instead of a couple dollars, she was charged almost $800. In December, 20-year-old Becky Siegel was running late to meet friends at the Seawater Tavern and Grill, so she immediately went from the Meta train to a cab at the Oakville Transportation Center. The mother, Susan Siegel, told WFLD Fox 32 News he was apparently very friendly and chatty and was talking about pedestrians crossing where they shouldn't. Once she started at her destination, the student asked the cab driver if she could use her credit card for the fare. He gave her a price and she thinks it was, under $10, explained Susan. And so she said, "Can I use a credit card?" And he said, "Oh, my swiper isn't working. Here, give it to me and I'll do it on my Square." The problem was, as Susan Siegel found out while reviewing her transactions, instead of a charge of under $12, the card was charged for a whopping $787. Miss Siegel contacted Visa customer service to dispute the charge, but because Becky had signed up on the transaction, a refund was refused. The Chicago Police Department told Siegel there was nothing they could do about it either. Angry about what transpired, Siegel contacted the driver, Ali Gonzfahari, for a resolution. Instead, the cab driver stood behind the nearly $800 charge.
Moving on to world news, a day after Russia claimed Crimea as its own, there are signs that the uneasy standoff between pro-Russia and Ukrainian forces could ignite into bloody conflict. Almost 300 armed pro-Russian supporters took over the Ukrainian Navy's headquarters in the Crimean part of Sevastopol, said Marina, assistant to the commander of Ukraine's Navy fleet. "They are everywhere here. They surround us, they threaten us," she said, adding that she was sure that Russian security forces were involved. She said that 70 or so Ukrainian naval officers at the headquarters had tried to stop the armed men from entering and were now negotiating with them. So far, no shots had been fired, she said. The men replaced flags on the mast with a Russian and St. Andrew's flag, the naval flag of the Russian Federation. Russia's official a TARDIS news agency reported. The news agency denied any involvement of Russian military.
Well, that's all for today. I'm Jason Coffin.
And I'm Alexa Gagosz.
Please join us again tomorrow for the most reliable and up-to-date news.
And be sure you follow us on Twitter and watch us online at youtube.com/BA Student News.
Thanks for watching the BASN, where the action almost never stops.